So Jon Voight, Angelina Jolie's dad, he's been in all types of movies. I remember him first and foremost from Anaconda, you know what I'm saying? But ever since, well, I don't know about ever since, but all I know is that since Trump has been in office, Jon Voight has been a very adamant supporter of Donald Trump. But he is a true believer. He's not just a conservative voter. I mean, this dude then dove off the deep end years ago. And he's always making these silly videos where he's talking about, how America's God's chosen country and God this and God that. And we're fighting against the forces of evil. And Donald Trump is a man's man. And he was delivered by God to, just crazy nonsense. But he recently made a video where he's talking about Mamdani and how he wants Donald Trump to, quote, terminate Mamdani's mayoral win, which Donald Trump doesn't have the right to do. So there's really no point in asking him to do that because he can't do it. But, even if he could, let's be serious. Jon Voight doesn't want Mamdani to be in the position he's in because he's Muslim and he represents change in America. Jon Voight's 86. His time has come and gone. And people like Zohran Mamdani, 35-year-old Muslim brown man, is a foreshadowing of the future and where this country's headed, and Jon Voight is terrified of that. So let's see what he has to say, because it's just about as silly as you would think it is.
The mayor that has taken over New York City is a Muslim that's going to take down the city that never sleeps.
Yeah, a Muslim. He's a Muslim. He ain't wasting no time. He's a Muslim that's going to take down the city that never sleeps with his American flag in the background.
City of life's dreams, this city that our ancestors brought forth in prosperity and greatness and liberty.
Okay, I'm going to restart it because it's so hard not to stop. But the city that our ancestors brought. New York has always been a massive, if not the biggest hub for immigration in the United States. I mean, that's where people got off the boat and came in. So, the idea that Mamdani is some type of new phenomenon. I mean, yeah, sure, New York has never had a Muslim mayor and all of that, but just in a sense of like New York isn't used to Muslims or used to Indians or used to Asians or used to Latinos or used to people from literally everywhere in the world coming to make a home, coming to try to make a better life for themselves. So, again, the idea, our ancestors, yeah, who are those ancestors? Immigrants.
This city will,
I'm gonna restart and just let it play.
Turn into the mayor that has taken over New York City is a Muslim that's going to take down the city that never sleeps, the city of life's dreams, this city that our ancestors brought forth in prosperity and greatness and liberty. This city will turn into a forbidden place of darkness. The blood, sweat, and tears that the city of New York was built on will turn into a virtual refugee shelter for the radical Muslim ideology.
A refugee shelter. Again, New York's already a hub of refugees. It's already a hub of immigration. But of course, we've never had someone like that in a position of such power, because the mayor of NYC is basically America's mayor. Everybody pays attention to it. A lot of trends are set. A lot of influence is made with the mayor's seat in New York City.
This is now the most dangerous time for our citizens of New York. This mayor will destroy this city.
Because he's Muslim. I mean, he's not even going into it. He's not even getting into details. Mamdani will destroy our city because he's Muslim. And he's literally saying it.
We are obligated to demand our rights for our private sanctuary, our businesses, our property that we all have worked so hard for. And this 35-year-old mayor has no right dictating the rules of socialism for a city built on our highest principles with brick and stone by hardworking Americans. This must be stopped, and his mayoralty should be terminated immediately. You, the people of the greatest city, New York, are in danger of losing your city to this communist fool.
You, the people of New York who voted for this man to be in office. Mamdani didn't win by 1 or 2 points. I mean, he steamrolled the whole time. You know, when he won the primary by double digits, you knew. I was like, it's a wrap. And then his opponents were Eric Adams and Andrew Cuomo, both of whom are very unpopular. So it was a wrap ever since he won that. But it just, man, it's just amazing that these people's attitudes, you know, again, the people of New York City want him in this position. Otherwise, he wouldn't have won.
We, the people, must stand for the greatest nation's purpose, the honor of our flag, the red, white, and blue, and for which it stands, one nation under God, and liberty and
One nation under God, not Allah.
justice for all. This country, the United States of America, is the land of our greatest achievement, the American dream. And we, the people, have put our trust in the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump. He and only he can stop this horror.
Okay, so we the people have put our trust in Donald Trump, but the people of New York City, you know, they didn't put their trust in Mamdani. You know what I'm saying? So again, I mean, there's really not a lot of serious commentary to give to this. There's no serious commentary to give to this. It's just an inside look again at the people who are the forever Trumpers who will never leave his side. This is what they're like. You know, like Donald Trump's approval is tanking with the people on the edges, you know, the like with the youth vote, the Latinos, and he's shaving off pretty much across the board with people's sentiments on how they feel about how he's handling the economy, how they feel about tariffs, people's sentiments about who was to blame for the shutdown. All of those things point to Donald Trump and Republicans. But that doesn't matter because he's a part of the cult. You know, on the one hand, the people chose Donald Trump, but he can't see in his mind that the people of New York City chose Mamdani. And again, you know, he's sitting here talking about the American dream. Well, isn't the American dream to be able to come here and make a life? Yeah, that's what the American dream is supposed to be all about. And again, especially in a place like New York City. I mean, I lived out there for 8 years and I still frequent there all the time. I'm there all the time for work. Bro, like all you see is foreigners because that's what New York City is. That's what America is. You know, I mean, it's white people are foreign too. I mean, the Midwest, where I'm from, I'm in St. Louis right now. I live in Chicago currently, but I'm in St. Louis. But you know, the Midwest, there's so many Germans here. I didn't know that actually until relatively recently. Over the last couple of years, I learned that. But you look throughout America, again, where Native Americans once were, this was once a land of many different nations. You know, people from Europe, from all countries in Europe came over here. When the Irish came over here in the late 1800s, when the potato famine was hit, it took them some time to be accepted. You know, when Italians first came over here, it took a while for them to be accepted into the fray, into, I guess, what you could consider white America. But that's all Jon Voight's talking about. And of course, again, he's 86 years old. But yeah, man, the whole notion of the American dream is such that Mamdani is where he is. And the people of New York City put him there because they want change.
As this Mayor Mamdani will try to destroy New York's wealth and turn it into a socialist crap city. Let this be a warning to the people. And may God bless. May God bless.
Now, again, no explanation of why he's going to turn it into a crap city. No explanation of that. I mean, you know, you look at rent prices, mortgage prices in New York City, and, you know, very few people can afford to live anywhere without at least one roommate. You know, paying like $2,200 a month pretty much everywhere in New York City, unless you want to live, you know, like in a room. And even then, you're probably paying $2,000. So it's all, you know, and that's the exact reason that Mamdani won the election, because he's speaking to those issues, to affordability issues, you know, talking about opening up city run grocery stores, talking about putting a 2% tax hike on the wealthiest people in New York City, who of course can afford it, you know, and people aren't going to flee New York City because of this. But I thought it was just funny to look at that because Jon Voight's always a hoot, but also it's, this is what MAGA is all about, especially at this point. Just pure lunacy and delusion.
Hey now, thank you so much for tuning in here at Politics and Paper. If you like what I do and you support my work, go ahead and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it and really helps to support what we do here.